Well, when y'all found out he was a Republican, the shooter, I'm like, why did the Republican try to kill him? I was a little confused.
What do you,
None of
no, 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 no. Okay, so another piece of misinformation. His parents are liberal, right? And
y'all.
so this is one of the things that happen. A lot of people are not familiar with the political process. If you go to any rally, right, especially in the primaries, one of the things that they try to convince the voters to do, and they don't tell you directly, but they tell you indirectly, is let's say, for example, I'm a part of the Democratic Party and I want to eliminate my opponent. So what they'll do is they'll tell them to register as Republicans in order to try to circumvent and vote a certain way during the primaries and try to prevent them from being able to be successful as far as a candidate that's projected to win. Because they want you to run against a certain candidate because you poll well against somebody else. Just because somebody registers as something does not mean that that's the way that they feel. If you go through and you look at all of the things that he did, everything that he did, especially when it comes to his donations, they literally pulled up what he donated to. It was to something that was liberal. It had nothing to do with a Republican Party. So just because you register as something doesn't mean that that's necessarily what you represent. But it's another narrative that's being painted the same way that they painted this narrative with this Project 25. Y'all listen to fucking Taraji P. Henson as though she know anything. You listen to her on the BET Awards, which the BET Awards is trash anyway. And then all of a sudden you want to tie it to Trump. Trump literally don't have nothing to do with that whatsoever.
Yep.
But it's another agenda for them to continue to push in order to try to influence you and play on your emotions. And so if you don't do your own research and you don't become informed as a voter, then you're just as bad as a person that don't vote. You probably just even worse than a person that don't vote at all. You might as well go with the same campaigns that they was doing when Diddy was dancing on 106 in Park telling y'all to vote or die. It's no different. And so that's a lie. The Project 25 ain't got nothing to do with him. That's a lie. But again, if you want to talk about conspiracy theories and false information and election interference, then you need to talk about it on that side too.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I just got one more thing. Who would want to plan an assassination on themselves? Make it make sense to me. Who would want to kill themselves over an election? It don't sound right to me. I just don't. It don't sit well. Ain't nobody finna try to kill themselves. You know what I mean?
Y'all stop listening to Taraji P. Henson and Amanda Seals. They shouldn't be the voice of what you leaning on as far as an opinion. Please don't listen to Taraji and Amanda. I don't even like nobody named Taraji. And only Amanda that I ever talked to, she was for the streets. So
Yeah, just to like add to Anton's point, like, you know, there is a lot of misinformation going out there, and specifically when it's coming from whether it be like creators, celebrities, or, you know, just random people online, because it, you know, goes viral and gets a buzz. Like, you guys have to, it's important that people actually go out and search out the information instead of just looking at, you know, like viral posts, because most of the time, you, like Anton said, they're not true. Like, Trump has no affiliation with Project 2025, but it's just a group of Republicans that advocate for him and his beliefs, and they're pushing the project. But if you hadn't read the plan, then you wouldn't know those things. Just like, you know, people are saying, you know, they want to plan abortion in the Project 2025. That's not in there. They just specify that they want to move it from a 10-week abortion plan to 7-week abortion plan, but you wouldn't know that if you don't read it. And so it's just like, especially in this day and age with so much, you know, everybody has a voice and everybody has access to posting something online, it's like that much more important that we do our due diligence to, you know, find the information out ourselves.
Shayla, I think she wanted to go. Go ahead, say something. Oh no, your audio.
yeah, your audio's messed up.
Everybody audio messing up. You can leave and come back. We'll be here. Anybody else?
Quinn, we can't hear you.
Quinn, you're muted too. Dang, everybody having audio issues? I did mic check prior to this, y'all, so it's not my fault.
Quinn, I can't hear you, Quinn.
Look at God.
Quinn is playing around. He can
Look at God.
It's fine.
Is this okay?
Yes.
Quinn,
No.
you so full of it. Jesus Christ.
What you gotta say, Quinn?
about I just think it is what it is. Someone trying to kill him and they failed miserably. I
Okay.
think it's y'all looking too much more into it than what it is. It's some little 20-year-old little kid who
I'm
failed.
waiting for someone to say it was all AI. I haven't seen that one come up yet. It's on my bingo card personally.
It doesn't even matter because 75% of people of the black community is not going to vote anyway. So we cool with that. The only thing that we want to do is we want to inform the people that's ultimately going to vote. And we want them to do their research. So we're not worried about the majority of people anyway. They're not going to show up to the polls. We good with that.
Yeah.
The only time that black people show up for anything is if it's a Tyler Perry movie.
Or free food.
Yeah, it could be a Tyler Perry movie, a backpack giveaway, or
a concert.
or if Kendrick or Drake is coming to, or Meg Thee Stallion.
Or a Negro is running.
What else do black people show up for?
Popeyes.
Obama is one of the candidates.
There you go. Chris Brown.
Chris Brown, I said that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if it's not incentivized with some celebrity that's going to do a giveaway for y'all or something, y'all not gonna show up anyway. So it don't matter. If it don't come with something tied to Tulum or
Not Tulum.
It's got to be tied to a Spirit flight or some shit. If it's not that,
Jesus,
then we ain't going anyway. So the culture is still the culture at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? If D-Lo ain't doing a concert here or Chris Brown is not taking a picture, we ain't got to worry about you voting anyway. So
I don't vote. So
dude, it's crazy. It's like they knew exactly.
Somebody got something paying.
No.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, good. No, but I was gonna say I'm one of the people I don't vote. I've never voted a day in my life, so a lot of this is just beyond me. But I do feel like people only think it's a conspiracy because when is the last time we actually had somebody try to assassinate a president? I feel like maybe it would be more believable to like the masses if they tried to kidnap him, like when they did like our governor. But it's just so far-fetched for somebody to actually be brave enough to try to assassinate a president. Like, that's gonna fail.
Shayla, me and you're gonna have to have a conversation in person about this no voting thing, right?
For saying that black men are dating outside their race because most black women are raised by single mothers and absentee fathers and taught a don't need a man mentality.
Are we not all victims of the systemic oppression and injustice that racism has introduced into our community? So just as you have black women who didn't grow up with their father, you have black men who didn't grow up with their fathers or their mothers. In other words, why is it acceptable for the black man raised by a black woman without his dad to reject a black woman raised by her mother without her dad? I think sometimes black men can be guilty of a double standard where we want a perfect offering when we ourselves are not a perfect offering. One of the reasons we have so much conflict with black women is because we don't operate on a masculine platform with our women all the time. We tend to operate on a female platform. For black men have to start being masculine and less feminine. All this cattiness, this back and forth between black men and black women on the internet, that is feminine and feminine.
Shout out to Umar. Ladies, wrong one. Ladies, Dr. Umar says black men have to be more masculine and less feminine. Do you guys believe that's true?
I would not make it synonymous to black men.
So is it men?
I was thinking the same thing. I think men.
Come on,
but right now he's focusing on black men, so I agree with some of his points because it is feminine to sit around and talk all day, and like women, that's what women do. You know what I'm saying? We sit around, we chit chat all day, and then men sit around and chit chat and argue back and forth with women. It's getting feminine, and I don't think that they notice that, but.
So y'all think that it's feminine. All right. So let me ask y'all a question. Let me reverse it for a second. Why do y'all tell us that we need to express ourselves and tell our thoughts? Like, why do y'all say that men need mental health and they have all of their stuff bottled in and they should be able to express themselves and all of that stuff?
I don't believe that personally.
Not in that way.
It's important. Oh, well, sorry.
Y'all don't believe that we need to express ourselves no more either?
I
I
mean,
think
I think
men
y'all
should
are-
have safe spaces of y'all own to be able to express certain things too. I
Barbershop.
mean, you know,
But
yes,
it's
but they have taken women have taken over so many men's spaces, and now like the lines are blurred. Men need their own spaces. I do think y'all have feelings that need to be expressed, and I also
so
think that it needs to be amongst each other. And I think women's thoughts about men needs to be amongst ourselves as well. You know, the internet have everything is so
Well,
blurred because
and
of the internet, and now men know what women are thinking, women know what men are thinking, and I don't think it's meant to be that way, to be honest, because now we just
I
butting
think
heads.
the lines are blurred because of women, and I'm trying not to be like dog on women,
No, I
but
think it's the feminism
it's
and all of that. I'm not a feminist.
because well, just like in my life, like I just ignore and not talk, and that'll piss y'all right the fuck off. But also, you don't want me to go back and forth with you. So, what does it look like?
I mean, for
so
me, I want men to express themselves. I think women saying that we don't want them to is the problem, because it's like, for one, they're human, so I think it's kind of weird to not expect them to, you know, talk to us or express what they're feeling. But then it's like, to go a step further when it comes to relationships, you want your man to not have all these things on his mental and on his shoulders. And because of this rhetoric that's been pushed for so long, most men don't do that. Like, they're in fear of doing that because of the other rhetoric that most women put on them. Is like, no, you know, this should be a men only thing. This should be something that you only talk to with your boys. But I think it's important that they know that at least one woman in their life is somebody that they can, you know, especially the woman that they choose, is that one that they can come to and share their emotions and their feelings with. I don't think that's
I
wrong.
get that, but as far as on the internet, no, men shouldn't
okay, but
be.
here's okay. So let me ask you another question. I'm gonna mine this out through questions this time. Should women be expressing all of their thoughts on the internet?
No,
No,
No.
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 About
Most of
men,
people's
not at
thoughts.
all.
about men,
Most
No,
or
of
just their
people's
thoughts
hold on.
in
I want to hear
general.
it. I want to hear it. I
But is
want to
it
most
hear
of
it.
just
people's
about
thoughts
men
on the
or
internet.
thoughts?
Women tend to overshare.
No,
Yeah.
in like, I would say, just in general, people in general, like, I would say 75% of what they're posting on social media, they could have kept for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Hmm.
they'll post something, it's almost like a stream of consciousness or verbal diarrhea, and then they'll read the comments, and then they'll get upset by the comments they get. But you're the one that decided to hang your dirty laundry for all of your neighborhood and the dogs to see, so you can't complain that. So most and then if they decide to not, like, to do their own thing after they ask for advice, then, like, they're upset that the commenters are upset at them. So no, half the time, like, keep your thoughts for yourself, except maybe for, like, if you're married, keep it for your spouse. Like, you don't need like 500,000 people to give you an input on something that happened to you. Keep